This is Chris the Nightmare Heredia, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So, August 26th, what is that, 12 days from now? LaRon Mitchell will be taking on the young Mario Heredia. Some of you probably remember his name if you watch any of the Showtime Extreme fights. He just fought Andre Fedosov, made a good account for himself. He ended up getting knocked down. I think he got knocked down like 3 or 4 times in that fight. That fight is on YouTube if you haven't watched it. Heredia, I've heard of him, you know, World Series of Boxing fights. He also fought Joseph Parker in the World Series of Boxing. Pretty entertaining fight. When you watch that fight, he just looks like 2 different fighters, man. He's put on so much weight. He's only 23 years old, Mexican fighter, 13 wins, 11 knockouts, and 2 of his losses were by stoppage. Besides the fight with Fedosov, his other fights, all of his fights have been in Mexico. I just wish this kid would get in some type of decent shape, man. His last fight against Fedosov came in at 286 pounds. The fight before that, he was like damn near closer to 300 pounds. You know, if you look at his career, I believe he was close to, was it 230 pounds like 3 years ago. So I'm not sure why the weight gain, why he put on so much weight, but to me, he's fighting at least 50, 60 pounds over what he should be fighting at. I mean, couple fights in his career, he was weighing in the 230s, even 220 in one of his fights. So in the Parker fight, looks like he was probably close to 200 pounds. So I'm not sure why this kid puts on so much weight, man. He's only 23 years old. There's actually a lot there to work with. He's about 6'3", good fundamentals, but like in a Fedosov fight that I seen, he's so out of shape, man. It just seems like his technique and everything falls apart. Round 4, round 3, round 5, it falls apart because he's so out of shape. He's winded. I just wish, you know, I'm not sure what type of shape he's going to come in for this fight, being that he just fought Fedosov 2 months ago. You know, so I'm not sure, you know, he was able to, you know, knock off, you know, 40, 50 pounds. Again, man, I'm not sure if this is what this kid wants to do. Let me go to BoxRec really quick to look at his weight, man, because that's one thing that I know is that his weight just fluctuates up and down, up and down. Let me see here. Yeah, he fought a guy named Juan Guzman, July 2015. He was 228 for that fight. And then 2 months after that fight, he ballooned up to 286. And ever since then, he's been fighting in the 280s. So I'm not sure, man. Then I seen training footage. He has fast hands, a decent jab. The technique is there. The World Series of Boxing and his amateur experience, you can tell that it's there. It's built. It's built in him. It's, you know, it's the foundation is there. It's just not in good shape. Now, my man LaRon Mitchell, I've done a video on him. I actually hit him up on Twitter a few days ago because I was asking him when, you know, was going to have his next fight, and he actually told me, but I didn't know who his opponent was. He didn't mention the opponent, so I went to BoxRec, and I'm like, oh, he's fighting Mario Heredia, and I've heard of Heredia. I actually did a post-fight video on the Fedosov fight. You know what I mean? So I know all about Heredia, man. But I'm going to go with LaRon Mitchell in this fight. He's 13-0, 13 knockouts. Like I said, I've done a prospect watch video on him. 6'4", 250 pounds, 36 years old. You know, so he is 13 years older than Heredia. Usually fights like this, you would go with the young guy. But I'm going to go with LaRon Mitchell in this fight. He's a late bloomer. Started boxing at 30 years old, was one of the top U.S. amateurs, one of the top guys, top 5 amateur fighters for a few years. Fought in the Olympic trials, was the runner-up. And that year, that was 2012, and we know that Dominic Brazil was the one that went to London for the super heavyweights. He's got a lot of good sparring in. He isn't just a sparring partner. He goes in there and gives guys some good work. Gerald Washington, Malik Scott, Dominic Brazil. Bay Area fighter. You know, so I'm going to go with him in this fight, man. He has a good left hook. I believe that's his best punch. Natural athlete. Was in all different types of sports growing up. You know, so, and he's a guy that likes to work behind his technique and fundamentals. He has very good skills. And you think 13-0 with 13 knockouts, you think that he's a headhunter type of guy. But when I watch him fight, he isn't that to me. He's a guy that likes to work behind his skill and technique. Like I mentioned in the prospect watch video I did on him, he's the type of guy, in my opinion, if you put pressure on him, then that's when he turns it up. Not to say he isn't aggressive when he's leading, when he's in the lead of the fight, when he's the aggressor. It just seems like when you, you know, try to walk him down and try to bully him, or, you know, try to let your hands go on him, then that's when he turns it up. But in this fight, I expect the first few rounds to be interesting because, like I said, Heredia has good technique and fundamentals too. You know, so, but I think once they start to exchange, and if Heredia tries to be the aggressor, he's going to get knocked out. I think he's going to get stopped if he tries to be the aggressor. But either way, though, you know, if he comes in at the 280, 270 mark, I believe he's going to fatigue around round 3, 4. And I'm not sure he makes it to see the final bell in this fight. Now, this fight's scheduled for 8 rounds, but like I said, man, if you're coming in out of shape against a guy like Mitchell, I really don't see this fight going to full 8 rounds. I really don't. So I'm going to go with Mitchell, probably around 5th or 6th round stoppage. Again, though, Heredia is a decent talent. I would just like the kid to get his weight down and take his conditioning serious. Probably, you know, I don't know, man. Maybe come over to the States. I'm not, you know, nothing against whoever his trainers are now. But probably get a strength and conditioning coach, probably. You know, just my opinion. And after this fight, you know, I still want to see more Heredia. I just want to see the kid get his weight down. But I guess we'll see what happens in this fight. I'm expecting LaRon Mitchell to win this fight. And after this fight, maybe a fight with Trevor Bryan. I think that'd be a good fight. Ed Lattimore, another undefeated prospect I've done videos on. Dorset Barnwell. Adam Konatsky, the New York Polish kid. I think he's about 14-0 right now. Alexis Santos, who I believe is 16-1. His one loss, he revenged it. So, I mean, there's a lot of good fights out there for my man LaRon Mitchell. But I like to see him get, at least by year's end, man, get another good fight against an undefeated prospect, somebody that we know of, Big Baby Miller, if he can't get a big fight that he's looking for, because I know he's rated by a few of the sanctioning bodies. I think LaRon Mitchell will test him, man, and I think that's a toss-up fight. But I'm just getting this out there to you guys. Let me know what you think about this. I'm going to go with LaRon Mitchell, man, but Heredia is a kid. If you go watch him, he has the skill set. I think he carries that left hand low a little bit, and I think sometimes he'll get in that shoulder roll posture, and he won't move his feet, and he'll think he's out of punching range, and actually he's right there to be hit. He did it a few times against Fedosov, and he was pulling back a lot. And I think a lot of that happened, his defense started to deteriorate because he was getting fatigued and he's tired. And when you're tired, you make mistakes. You know, so, and I've seen LaRon Mitchell lift, who was the guy he fought? Ochieng? Was it Raymond Ochieng? Like, he lifted this dude up off his feet with a hook. You know what I mean? So he's the wrong guy you want to get fatigued against, man. So I'm going to go with LaRon Mitchell in this fight. Just getting this out there, man. I'm out.